Hey everybody, it's Denitza Rave, your credit and financial coach. How is everybody doing this evening? It's a little bit of a late live. I do apologize. It's just been really busy. I do have some good stuff that I want to talk with you guys about tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and give it another minute because I know it's kind of late. I just want to see if anyone else is going to pop on before I get into it. Okay, if you see me looking down, it is because I do have notes because I don't want to forget anything that I came on here to talk with you about this evening. I'm also looking because I'm not quite sure how this streaming system that I'm using is with regards to questions and comments showing in the chat. It's a little new still. I haven't really gone live with it or on it too much. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my Facebook as well. Okay, just so I know I can see what's going on. And I did put it on mute so that way we shouldn't hear an echo. Okay, so again, I am Denitza Rave. I am your credit and financial coach. I own a company called Rave Financial Services. We do credit repair, restoration, student loan help, financial coaching, and tax strategy. Okay, so pretty much we're a financial company. Okay. Um, so the topic, as you can see by the title, it's removing collections from your credit report the legal way. I know there's so many companies out there, credit restoration, credit repair companies that try to get people to say, oh, that's not mine, identity theft, but that is not the way we work. I always try to be completely ethical in everything that I do. So, the tips that I'm going to give you tonight and the education I'm going to give you guys tonight, it is legal. Okay. So, there's no worries about anything shady. I am going to offer a freebie at the end of this little education webinar. So, hang tight for that. Go ahead and if you have questions or comments, go ahead and post them wherever you're watching this from. And I really hope I'm going to be able to see them. If not, you can always shoot over a private chat and see if that works. Again, this is new and I'm going to try it out again and see how I like it. Okay, so basically, the way I got into credit repair and credit restoration, however you want to call it, um, is because I had a lot of financial and credit issues later on in life, from student loans to bankruptcy to, just a lot of happenings. Financially, it was a very bad time. My credit got shot to heck. It took a very, very long time for me to be able to get my credit up, get my husband's credit up, so we can buy a home. So we finally purchased our very first beautiful home out here in Southern California. Um, and the only thing that was holding us back was our credit. So once we got into the home buying process, you have to work with the credit agency if your credit is not up to par to where the lenders and the underwriters want it to be. So that's what we did. We worked with a credit repair company like me. Um, and we got everything all squared away. We got our credit looking good. So we were able to buy this home. And credit repair is just interesting and it's just fascinating. And I love it. And, I'm a tax strategist as well. So we do some tax planning, business taxes, stuff like that. So I really wanted to expand what my company offers. And then, of course, we help out with student loan payments, consolidation, all of that good stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, go ahead and you can always go to my website, ravefinancialservices.com. Okay. And you can always schedule an appointment, free consultation, free appointment. I also have a Facebook group, which I put in the comments. It's Credit Repair and Financial Services. In this group, basically, I do lives, I run contests, I drop gems for you guys. Basically, it's for free. So you will get a lot of knowledge in the different areas that I work in for absolutely free. Okay, so basically, what I want to start with first is HIPAA. We've all heard of HIPAA, right? The Health Information Privacy Act that came into play in 1996. And we know that HIPAA protects patient privacy, right? By making sure everyone's data, the patient's data from the doctors or hospitals, are safe and secure, right? They're lock and key, under a good encryption and all that. So that's what that is. The HIPAA privacy rule is it restricts allowable uses and disclosures of protected health information. Okay. So it stipulates when and with whom and under what circumstances your personal health information can be shared. So not just anyone can go into Kaiser and say, hey, I want so and so's medical records, give it to me please, or to a doctor's office and, hey, I want this person's. No, HIPAA doesn't allow that. Okay, so that's kind of like just a shorter version of what HIPAA is. So HIPAA and collection agencies, because that's what I'm talking about tonight. Just so you know, the agencies must sign what's called a HIPAA Business Association Agreement. Okay, that in that agreement, they have to indicate and they have to agree and that they're going to comply with all the HIPAA regulations that involve public health information. Okay. So yeah, they sign it, doesn't mean they actually follow it when, push comes to shove. I've seen it many times where there's blatant disregard with collectors for HIPAA. Okay, not good. So they're required to keep your information safe and secure. So they do have to sign something with HIPAA stating that. Okay. Now, like I said, I've seen it happen where no, they definitely don't follow it, follow the HIPAA guidelines. And then that's where a lot of issues, they get into trouble and all of that. So I just came across an article in one of the groups that I'm in. And I want to go ahead and share it with you guys really quickly before I get into the actual how to remove medical collections account from your credit legally. Okay. And if you want to verify the article that I am talking about, I'm going to go ahead and type it into the comments really quick. It's accounts. Oops. Recovery.net. Okay. So accountsrecovery.net, there you go. So that is the website that you can go to view the little, just it's like a quick little one page article. I'm not going to read the whole thing, just a little bit of it. So credit reporting agencies announced changes to medical debt credit reporting, and this is really good. I wish they would have had a higher limit than what they're doing. I think it's a step in the right direction, but it needs to be better, to tell you the truth. So the three major credit reporting agencies, which are from, as you know, in my prior lives, what is it? Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Those are the three main ones, but there's also little ones that a lot of people don't know about, like LexisNexis, Pacer, and probably like three or four other ones, if not more. Okay, but we're talking about the three major bureaus: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. That they announced today. So this article on Monday came out, and I just froze. I hope you guys are still with me. So it says how medical debts are right. So leading to the removal of nearly 70% of medical debt trade lines from consumers' credit reports, and you're the consumer, right? So starting July 1st, so starting next month, any paid collection, okay, any collection debt that has been paid will no longer appear on a consumer, so on your credit report. That's great. I do like that. That is awesome. So, as well as the credit bureaus have extended the period of time before an unpaid medical can be reported to 1 year from 6 months currently. So, right now, like hospitals and doctors, they have 6 months to report, right? Now they're going to extend it to 1 year. Okay, so they'll hold on to that debt, from my understanding, a little longer. So where was I? So as well as okay, so finally starting next year, okay, so 2023, the credit bureaus are not going to include any unpaid medical debt less than $500 on a consumer's credit report. So if your debt is $499 and under, it will not be reported if it's unpaid. Honestly, I don't really see people with that little bit of an amount on their credit report. It's usually like in the thousands of dollars. So I don't know why they didn't do it to at least $1,000. To me, I think that would make more sense. But hey, $500 is $500, or $500 or less. So $499. It's a step in the right direction. So hopefully, maybe one day we'll get there for it to be a little bit more beneficial. Okay. So there's that. And then, so the CFPB, okay, has vowed to take action against what it's termed questionable medical bills. So they're going to make a decision to see what bills will go on to the debt. You know, if it's questionable, then they may be looking into that. The CFPB estimated that 43 million consumers in the United States had a medical debt trade line on their credit report. That's a lot. That is a lot of people. With a total outstanding debt of 88 billion. Let me say that again. $88 billion that people have in the United States for medical debt. That is sad. That is very, very sad. But that's neither here or there on this video. But it's very sad how in America we have that much medical debt. So that is just a little bit on the new update for medical collections. They've kind of talked about it on the news, but not, too much. They haven't said too much about it. So, okay. So now, so again, so medical bills, okay, is the most common, and I'm going to look at my notes because I don't want to miss anything. is the most common debt on your credit report. Okay, medical bills. So the way you can legally remove or attempt to remove medical collections, the first way is by, sorry, I have allergies, so my eyes are watery. Validate your debt with the debt collectors. Okay, validate with them, send them a letter. Um, for the most part, I really don't recommend talking to them. Start with a letter first, okay? A validation letter. If the debt collector doesn't have legal authority or authorization to collect the debt from you, it must automatically remove, and that debt collector can no longer report your debt to the credit bureaus. So if you have a debt here in California, and say there's a debt collector in Connecticut or something that got a hold and purchased your debt, and your debt was here in California, and they're not registered as a business here in California, guess what? They're in trouble. They cannot collect on that debt. So, what they spent that money on to buy your debt, they can't collect on it because it's not allowed, because they're not legally authorized to collect the medical debt. Okay. So, that's why validation is always important. And on your validation letter, you always want to make sure you ask for their where they're registered. Okay. It's very important. So they will no longer, it has to be removed, and they'll no longer report it to the credit bureaus. That's legal because what they're doing is illegal. Okay. And this is all allowed with the credit protection agencies. Okay. And also what that letter will do, the validation letter, for a certain amount of time, usually it's about 30 days, it they have to stop harassing you and calling you and sending you letters because you've communicated with them and you're asking them to verify, to validate your debt. When did you get my debt? How did you get my debt? Are you legally allowed to collect on my debt? Did I actually sign something with you stating I owe you the debt? You see how that works? So it's all in the validation and factual disputing. Factual is the key, not this account isn't mine, this is identity theft when it really wasn't. Okay. So you want to be careful of that. And anyone that tells you to do identity theft or claim every debt you have under the sun is not yours, you got to be careful of those people because they will eventually get caught and get in trouble. And you could get in trouble for fraud. And we don't want that, right? We want to stay ethical in everything that we do. Okay, so where was I? So you're also protected by HIPAA, right? The Health Information Privacy Act, with your medical information. So when you ask for validation, a lot of times they're going to give you the information that the actual doctor or the hospital or I don't know, like the EMT company or whatever gave you. Okay, not you, but gives them. Okay, and that could even be something as like an itemized bill. Okay, and that's they can't do that. So this is an automatic. If they send you a letter like that with any personal information, any itemized bill, what have you, anything that says anything medical on there, that's an automatic violation of HIPAA. Automatic violation. Okay. Um, so yeah, this is all legal. This is all okay to do as long as you're following the proper channels, doing the correct steps. Okay. If you are finding this valuable so far, please in the comments, wherever you're watching this, comment #valuable. Okay. And do a little gem emoji because I'm dropping some really good gems here. Okay, so you're gonna respond back once you receive that potential violation of HIPAA. you're going to respond back to them, okay, to these bureaus. You're going to write them, or not bureaus, I'm sorry, the debt collector. You're going to write them back advising that they just broke HIPAA law. Mhm. So you will go back to them and let them know they just broke HIPAA law. If they break that HIPAA law, this is what's going to happen. Okay. Either they're going to have to remove that debt, wipe it out completely. Okay. Because they did something they weren't supposed to do. Or you can just have them leave it on your credit report. Okay. And you find yourself a credit attorney, an attorney that deals with creditors and collections, okay? Um, to sue for violation damages because that is your right. That is your right. These people have no right to do this. They're not allowed to do this, okay? So know your rights. Always know your rights for everything. Credit repair is no different. You have rights, okay? So the second option that's legal that you can get to remove from your credit report, say you don't want to do the validation. You just don't want to. You just don't have the time. Maybe you just have to get this debt off because this one debt is what's holding you up from buying a car, or worse, holding you up from buying a home or getting an apartment or even that job that you really want because employers do credit checks. And depending on the type of job that you're applying for, your credit score or not your credit score, because what's more important is your credit report. Your credit report can affect you in getting that job. Okay. So the second option that you have that is legal, that's a legal step to removing collections from your credit report is pay for delete. Mhm. Pay for delete. So this is where you can like negotiate, okay, with whomever has your debt, whatever debt collector has your debt, okay. You can negotiate with them and come to an agreement that the both of you can live with, okay. But always check the statute of limitations in your state. uh Generally it's anywhere from 4 to 7 years, but you want to definitely double check your statute of limitations on medical debt, okay. uh I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to miss anything because this is important. So if the debt is outside of the statute of limitations, okay, collectors can no longer sue for payment, and now they have zero recourse. If it's way outside that statute, they have zero legal recourse. That gives you the power over them. Okay, you see how that works? Um, So again, if this was helpful, if this was valuable, please in the comments type in hashtag valuable, hashtag I understand. Okay. Because when you guys do that, one, it gets it out there so other people can have access to this valuable information, to this very important knowledge that not everybody knows about, because not everybody knows about collections and your rights. Okay, so that way it's not just you learning, but you can, when you put your comments, it throws it out there for more people to see, the algorithm and all that good stuff. So that way other people can learn too. Okay. Um, so and it also helps me like with what other kind of tips that you guys might want to hear, or what if I'm on the right track on educating my followers and my viewers too. Okay, so it helps me gauge what's going on and how everything is going. So, okay, so how do they end up with your debt? Have you ever wondered that? I know I've always wondered. I always wondered when I was younger, I was like, how do you people have my debt? How did you get it? Well, after a certain amount of time, your furnisher, and the furnisher means the person that you had the debt with. So like Kaiser, Blue Cross, what have you. They feel that they cannot collect any money on whatever your debt is. Usually it's six months or more or 180 days, then they're gonna write you off as a loss. Okay, they're not even gonna deal with us anymore because they know it's been 6 months or more, and if we haven't responded, we're not paying. So they're not gonna waste any more energy. They're just gonna write you off on the profit and loss statement, okay, and charge off your debt. Mhm. Charge off. And charge off collections are one of the worst words you ever want to see on your credit report because that, more than even a late payment, a collection or charge off will devastate your credit report. Okay. So we want to definitely avoid that. Um, so let's see. So they sell off your debt, right? So la la la, la your debt's $1,000, and here comes debt collector Billy Bob's collection agency or something, right? Just off the top of my head. So he's like, okay, I'll take that $1,000 bill, or debt, no problem. Here's $300. I'll buy it from you. At least you're getting $300, from that write off. And so the furnisher, your actual prior original creditor, will be like, okay, Billy Bob, here's the debt. Get it out of my books. Give me the $300. Boom. They have your debt now. Okay. So now it's no longer the furnisher, and I keep saying furnisher because I want you guys to understand, the credit terms. They no longer have your debt. So now the collector has it, Billy Bob. And so Billy Bob is who you're going to start hearing from now with the calls, with the letters, with all of this with all of that, stalking and stuff that collectors do. So they literally buy your debt for fractions of the on the dollar, for a fraction of the debt. Okay. And then they stalk you, and they're going to charge you not $300 that they paid for your debt, or $200 or $10, whatever. They're going to charge you the full $1,000. They're going to try to collect the full $1,000. And by intimidation and by harassing and threats and all of that, whether they're valid threats or just blowing smoke to the wind type of threats, they're going to recoup that $300 back plus profit $700. Horrible, right? That is disgusting to me. But I don't know. But you see, that's why it's easy somewhat to negotiate with creditors, or I'm sorry, collectors. Of course, it might take a lot of back and forth. It might take a lot of energy, but it might be worth it. So there's that. So pay for delete is also another legal way that you can go about getting these medical collections removed. Remember, we never want to be like, this isn't mine. This is identity theft. I don't know, unless it truly is. If it truly is, then yes, do that. Get a police report to the credit bureaus. But if it's really your debt, don't please don't go to someone that's going to try to tell you to lie to people and say it's not yours, because what happens in the darkness will come to light, right? So eventually it could get found out and you can get in trouble, and you don't want to be in trouble for fraud, because if that credit repair agency gets audited by the state or the FTC or the CFPB for any reason, then if what if they go after their clients as well? So you don't even want to deal with that. So stay away from people that do that. Okay. So anyway, so remember, the older the debt, like I said earlier, the older the debt, the easier it is to negotiate with these collectors. Okay. Uh, but another thing, before you do that pay for deletion, before you make that payment, get it in writing. Never agree for your debt, your credit debt is $1,000, and you guys are going to settle it for $500. Okay. Do not give them that $500 up front. Don't do it. Don't do it. because what will happen? Collectors aren't the most moral and ethical people in the world, right? So they can easily take your $500 and be like, okay, no problem. We'll go ahead and send it out. And they never send it out. They pocket it and it's still on your report for another 5 years. Okay. So please never give them the money first. You always need to have everything in writing, and you need to have everything stipulated in writing. Okay. Everything that you talked about, you tell them you want this in the agreement, you want this and this, and then once you receive that, they can fax it to you, they can mail it to you. That's when you pay for that debt, or you pay for what it was that you settled with the collection agency for. Okay, just don't hand them money. Never, ever. I've seen this happen, and it broke my heart. Never ever give a collector your debit card number or your checking account number, because if they're really bad, they can easily wipe you out. And guess what? It'll be very hard to prove that you didn't give them authorization for $10,000 or 5,000 or 2,000, whatever. I don't want to see you guys get into that situation. I've seen it, and it's just so sad. It's awful. Um, so remember, the letter is key, okay? Never, never pay before you get the letter. And then what's cool is once you get the letter, you can also send that to the credit bureaus and say, okay, I just paid this. It's supposed to be off the credit. Make sure it is. Okay. Um, so like I said earlier, the time period of medical debts. So just to go back a bit to recap, there is a statute of limitation. Okay. Usually they're generally reported for 7 years. Okay. And that 7-year reporting period begins 180 days after the date of delinquency. So when you first became delinquent on your debt, okay? After 180 days from that date, that's when it'll go to charge off and on your credit report and collect and all that crazy stuff. And that's when the 7-year reporting period will begin. Okay. And it's the month and year of when the delinquency commenced. Okay. So that's when they're going to go ahead and do their profit and loss. They're going to put your debt as a profit and loss. Okay. I am going to be given, and I said that I was going to give a freebie to you guys tonight for whoever is watching the live. I just need you to email me and I can go ahead and send that to you. Let me go ahead and throw my email in here. I'm writing in all caps. I don't want to do that because I don't want to be yelling at you guys. So it's Denitza at Ray Financial Services. God, I can't type today. It's late. So Denitza at rayfinancialservices.com. So go ahead and email me. And what I'm going to do for free, and usually, I would charge for this, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to you for free for taking the time out, watching and learning with me. I'm going to go ahead and give you a free letter. So you're going to get the medical letter free, okay, of the validation letter. I'm going to give you the validation letter for free, and I'm going to give you the pay per delete letter for free. So I was going to give you one thing for free, but I'm actually going to give you guys 2 things for free. And normally I would charge for that, but you guys took the time out. You stayed on here with me for a little over 30 minutes and, to learn. So I figure I should give you guys something as well. Again, go ahead and join, and it's up here in the comments. join my Facebook group. My Facebook group is for people trying to repair their credit. It's not for other credit reporting or other credit restoration people or credit repair agents like me. No, it's not for you guys. It's for actual consumers. So that way they can learn and find out all the good stuff that's happening. Okay. And what could help them in the future. So it's right there. So it's credit repair and financial services. So again, like I said in the intro, not only do I talk about credit repair, but I also go into tax stuff, tax planning stuff, student loans, because again, I do student loans, late payments, consolidation, all that good stuff. So request access. It's a free group and it's exclusive. So it's a private group. I don't, you know, you have to actually request to get into it and you have to answer membership questions. Nothing lengthy. It's like 3 questions plus the basic questions of spamming and harassment and all that. But okay, so thank you guys so much. Again, I'm Denise Arave, your credit and financial coach. I hope to keep helping you guys in the future. Definitely request access into my free private group. It's a no judgment zone. We're all in different areas of our credit, uh, issues or what have you. So there's definitely no judgment. I was there. I was in the bad credit trenches with you. So believe me, I understand. So definitely request access to that. Email me, denitza@rayfinancialservices.com for your 2 free letters. And if you need help with anything else, feel free to join the group, ask your questions to me. If you want to sign up for my credit repair services, reach out to me and I can go ahead and give you a free consultation. Okay, that's what I like to do. I like to make sure that you guys actually qualify to become a client of mine. I don't just take anyone that has like one late payment. Like, why are you going to pay me, you know, money for one late payment every month? Okay. So you definitely have to qualify. So send me an email and to the same email and we can get in touch. Okay. You can go to my website, rayfinancialservices.com, and it has some information on there. And I also have some ebooks, some DIY ebooks that I sell as well on there. Okay. It's not my full store yet. It's just a few things that I've written. But yeah, you'll find really good, valuable information there as well. So thank you again so much. I hope you guys have the rest of a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you.